All right, everybody, I'm going to hop in on the trending discourse for today, everybody. Trending discourse. Everyone's talking about it. I feel like I am in a unique position here, being a transgender American, to talk about the trending discourse of the day in left-wing circles. And that's right, we're going to talk about A.K. Rowling here. So this is Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks. You know, a lot of people have asked me to cover this person's, like, rightward shift. People have been asking me to cover that for a while. But I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really care about TYT. I don't really watch them. But I saw this, I watch a couple of their clips now and then, just to, get all my biases out there. But I don't really care for any of them, to be honest with you. But I saw this tweet, and this tweet is just so bad. I mean, this is so bad. So I just want to be very frank with everybody. I'm willing to just write this person off. This person is useless. I'm talking about A.K. Rowling over here. I'm talking about Anna Kasparian. She is useless. I don't get, now, I also have, she did, 2 response videos. She did, 2 days in a row of video responses, apologetic or non-apologetic apologies, right? I'm going to go into both of those because there's a lot to unpack here. But I'm just going to say, Anna Kasparian, useless. This is a useless person. I don't give a fuck about her track record, just to be honest with you. And this is my opinion. You're free to disagree with it. As a transgender American, I see this. I see a useless motherfucker. I see someone who's going to buckle in seconds. So let's read the tweet here. I'm a woman. Please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus. A birthing person. A person who menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading this is? You can support the transgender community without doing this shit. So again, we need to say what needs to be said. No one is calling Anna Kasparian a birthing person, right? No, she's walking down the street and she sees a homeless person go hey, pretty birthing person. I don't know, because I know she hates homeless people too. But it's literally 0%, 0.00 human beings on planet Earth throughout the entire history of the world have ever looked at this fucking person and called her, hey, person with a uterus. No one's ever done that, right? So again, that needs to be said because really the context here is extremely important. No one was talking about any of this shit until this stupid fucking bitch decided to open her mouth via tweet and make trending discourse for multiple days where people like me are going to have to take the brunt of this because all I get to see now over all of my social media feed is every fucking so-called progressive YouTuber defend this fucking stupid garbage. Oh, but she's made videos about the transgenders. But why? She's so supportive. Is she? I mean, making videos where you take an obvious point. I don't really even understand that as a defense, by the way, right? Because if you make videos about how transgender people are under attack in this country, you should know better on whether or not to say the stupid fucking garbage, right? That's the thing about it, right? So the first line defense from you see all these fucking progressive YouTubers, you see it all over Twitter, these so-called leftist allies making defenses for this fucking stupid ass garbage. Now again, I don't give a shit about the Young Turks. A lot of people have said they want me to go on the Young Turks. If this ruins my chances of doing that, I don't fucking care, right? I know some people that work on the Young Turks. I know a couple of them. I've been on a couple of people's shows, right? I don't give a fuck. If this burns a bridge, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about this person. I don't care about these people, right? Whether or not it gives a stain to anyone else at the network, I'm not having that conversation. I don't care. That's not the conversation I'm having. This person is just a useless pile of garbage on this issue. And the fact that people are going to use her so-called track record, what the fuck track record of making YouTube videos? Making fucking YouTube videos? That's your track record? Wow, okay, great track record. But anyway, it's just insufferable. No one was talking about this. She decided to have some weird schizophrenic panic attack where someone's calling me a person with a uterus. Oh my God. Right? For no reason whatsoever. And then everyone criticizing her Right, like, again, like, even on the screen, you have Humanist Report give, like, again, milquetoast. And I love Humanist Report. He's been on my show before. I love this guy. He's great. Go subscribe to the Humanist Report. But he is trying. He's literally begging, like, please, just please take it back. Please, look at this. I respect you a lot, but the notion that this existence of trans-inclusive terms rarely used in casual convos somehow degrades women comes right out of the anti-trans war on women playbook. There's a reason why they're praising you for this. So he is begging her. He is like on his knees. Anna, please take it back. This is an L. You know it's an L. Please take it back, and God bless him. I know we both, Humanist Report and myself, we both don't believe in God. But you know what? God bless this guy for trying, okay? Like, that's great. I'm happy for him. But again, just look at this response. And again, we got videos here. We got videos. You know, say what you want about the source of these videos. I got some videos here we're going to get into. This is like, you know, I'm just hopping in on it. You know, I don't do this drama stuff often, but I'm just having fun with this. I'm high, okay? I'm enjoying myself. All right, so let's just, like, she responds with this fucking shit. Hey, Mike, your guy. Now, I assume she meant to say you're a guy, but she says your guy. You are guy! Like, bitch motherfucking came out of the Neolithic period. But anyway, your guy who has no clue what it's like to have your reproductive freedom taken away, but consider what it's like to have the same lawmakers who fail to protect our rights turn around and call us people with uteruses. Oh, really? Oh, really? So what about what the feeling is when so-called allies turn around and fucking assault us in the world of rhetoric, bringing in trending topics where trans people are just always going to be talked over? By the way, you ever see any of these fucking left-wing news shows invite transgender people on? Maybe you do. I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm not in those circles anymore. I don't really care about that stuff. But, like, you ever see, like, oh, let's ask transgender people what they think about this? No, I haven't seen that. Maybe it's there, and I'd like to see that. But anyway, we got two videos here. She mentioned it twice, I guess. So I'm going to play these in chronological order. You know, again, I'm not watching TYT main show. These were sent to me because some people wanted me to talk about it because I'm the resident transgender YouTuber. So people want me to talk about it, and today I decided to take the bait. I'll bite. Let's enjoy it. Right, but okay, so this, like, if these are out of context, if there's like a missing third clip, feel free to send it to me. Feel free to send it to me. Maybe I'll talk about it in my next show but again, just to be honest with you, there's a chance that there is some contextual stuff here. But again, I want to be as fair as possible. So there's two responses. I got two of them. I think they're both bad. Let's jump in.
Jasmine Bryant says, neither trans people or any organization that fights for us wants to refer to you as a birthing person. The language is used in a general sense to include trans men when a general statement is needed.
So again, she's like reading like a donation comment or some shit. Like someone spent money to educate this fucking bitch on something that apparently she has a great track record on. Like, oh, her track record. Motherfucking track record, dude. Okay, but again, so this bitch has a profound 100% report card. You know, she's got a 4.0 like grade point average. Her track record is banging, man. She's got like the A++ shit going on. She's got extra credit on that bitch. She got a 4.5. I don't know what GPA is. Does it cap out at 4? I honestly don't know. I could have been making that up. Anyway, what does she have to say? She just gets educated. Someone spent money. Someone gave her and her, I'm pretty sure that it's like a donation comment system. If I'm wrong, feel free to let me know. But theoretically, someone spent money to educate her, and this is her response. Check it out.
When I'm reading about my rights being stripped away from me by the federal government, and when I'm reading quotes from the Democratic Party that failed to protect my reproductive rights, it adds insult to injury to read not women, but birthing people. I don't
like, okay. Now, again, I just want to say this. To my understanding, contextually, this is her first video response, right? So she got, basically, I mean, like, let's be honest, she got dogpiled pretty hard, and, you know, I agree with it in this instance, and she came up with a second video response, right? So this is the first one before she really realized how badly she fucked up, right? And it's just really bad. Now, first of all, again, no one's calling, like, this fucking tweet here, right? please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus. No one's referring to her specifically as a person with a uterus. So if she's reading a policy about abortion rights and it says anyone, by the way, transgender men, I don't know if you know this, some of them, not all of them, but some of them can get pregnant. How would you feel if you're a transgender man and you've been left out of the conversation, actually erased, actually legitimately erased? Well, A.K. Rowling doesn't give a fuck about you. She doesn't give a fuck about you. And this is what I'm talking about, useless liberal allies, right? Because the moment a liberal ally, so-called, is slightly inconvenienced a little bit, she's going to drop all the fucking facade. And again, now, this person, again, has made so many videos literally refuting her exact cringe post here. And yet somehow that's like a defense of her. Like, she knows the refutation of this. She has said on her show the refutation of this exact sentiment and this exact post. So she's been on both sides of this. And now the most recent occurrence is she is flipping onto the right side of this issue. All right, so again, let's play the rest of this because it gets worse.
I don't want to ever be referred to as a birthing person under any circumstance. I find it offensive. I respect the transgender community. I just ask that they also respect how other people want to be referred to.
Both sides. Both sides. Yo. I respect the transgenders, but like, again, I'm saying useless liberals. Now, again, does this make A.K. Rowling a bad person? I'm not here to weigh in. I don't care. If she's a bad person, good person, to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck. Right? But when I say, like, useless, she has no actual use value. Because what she's going to do is she's going to use that clout and that credit that she has gained with this so-called track record to brainwash a bunch of liberals into thinking trans people are forcing person with a uterus on people that they're not, right? So anyone that she did convince onto the left or whatever, like whatever hypothetical value that you think her track record has accomplished, right? Those same people, if they were convinced by her to go onto the left side of that issue, they're going to follow her right off the cliff onto the right side of this issue. And that's why this is harmful garbage. And this is apparently the largest progressive news outlet or whatever. This is why I personally think that left-wing YouTube content is gone. It's done. Like, whatever generation the TYT comes out of, this generation of leftist content, it's not even leftist, right? Like, it's liberal. It's like what MSNBC would be considered but for a different kind of subset of a demographic here. Like, these people don't really provide that much cutting edge information, let's be honest, right? They don't really have that great takes on many things. Now, again, I'm talking about the TYT main show. I know a lot of people, they love their other side projects. They have other kinds of shows. I'm just talking about this main show here. This is a detriment to everything. I'm just going to be honest. This is useless fucking garbage. I don't care about what your opinion is on whatever subject. If you're going to be changing your mind and flip-flopping to the right on these issues, I'm going to call you a stupid fucking bitch. And again, this is the first non-apology apology video. There's a second one that's even worse, okay?
Person with a uterus, person who menstruates, birthing people. I just find it incredibly demeaning. And I'm allowed to feel that way. I don't think that that's transphobic at all. I will fight to the death for equal rights for the transgender community.
Now, first of all, I'm just going to put this out there. She will not fight to the death. Like, I know it's hyperbole. I know when people say I would fight for the death, they don't actually mean it. But I'm just saying, if you are going to drop this fight over the word birthing person, like, that's going to make you drop trans rights, then you're definitely not going to die for it. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, right? Like the idea of people in a clinical setting talking about something a little bit, right, causing you to have a meltdown, I know for a fact you're not going to die for it. But again, I support the transgenders, but it's conditional. And this is why I refer to this person as a useless ally, because You need to have unconditional support and solidarity for minority groups, or else I don't care about you. Right? Now, does that mean you have to worship every single transgender person? No. Does that mean you have to worship anyone who belongs to any minority group? No. There's a lot of people that are in minority groups that you can disagree with. But the idea that you're going to say, I support transgender people, but it's conditional upon you not calling me a person with a uterus, which no one called her a person with a uterus to begin with, right? Again, conditional support is not support. And I'm going to say this much. You know, a lot of people's second line defense that I've seen from a lot of people trying to defend Andrea Kasparian is that, oh, no one called Andrea Kasparian a person with a uterus. They're only using this language in a clinical setting, in healthcare settings. I say this much. That's also wrong. We should not just use this language in just clinical and healthcare settings. We should be using this language in all kinds of conversations. Why? Because it's inclusive fucking language. And yes, will inclusive language be awkward in a transitionary sense? Absolutely. But that just comes with the territory. So if you're someone who actually supports inclusive language, which she's trying to have it both ways, if you actually support inclusive language, you would support inclusive language outside of a medical context as well as inside of a medical context. Now, again, we can debate the terms birthing person. We're allowed to debate what the best inclusive term can be. We are allowed to debate that. Are some of them clunky? Yes, absolutely. And you know what? You know what I'd rather be debating, right? Or conversing about is what inclusive language is the best for all parties involved. But Anna, A.K. Rowling, is not interested in that debate. She's interested in using her platform to speak down to people who are simply just trying to educate her, right? Like, she's responding to this donation message that's literally just basic education.
People or any...
Right, like, again, so it's just an L on everything, right? I don't want to talk about this, but I'm going to on this one just because no one else is going to do so. So here's another clip I saw. Zeke Gonzalez, you know, with all due respect, I mean, I don't want to read whatever caption there's that. So anyway, I saw this one too. This is the second apology, at least as it was sent to me, right? You know, all the love for Zeke. They're a good Twitter hype man. Love the guy. This is an L on this one. I'm just saying, I'm allowed to disagree with people. It's okay. Disagreement with someone saying something bad is not cancel culture. I'm allowed to disagree with people. I know, shocking, right? So this is the second apology because apparently they figured they should address it a second time. I want to watch this one too because it's just bad. It's really bad.
C. Zerkley wrote in, I love TYT, but I'm kind of tired of getting the vibe from Anna and even Cenk at times that my plight as a trans man who could get preggers if raped offends her because she feels like birthing persons is offensive.
So let me just address something, okay? For me, as a woman who has experienced endless debates, like,
yo, this bitch. Now again, when I say bitch, I mean I call everyone a bitch. So like them or hate them, that's just my language. Some people don't like the word dude. That's fine. Some people don't like the word bitch. Okay, I use them interchangeably. That said, I love how this debate is always starting for me on transgender rights. For me, like, we're not talking about you. Like, I really want to be honest with this. No one's talking about Andrea Kasparian. No one called you, whatever it is you're offended by. You are not the center of this conversation. Honestly, I don't care. But anyway, let's keep going.
Our bodies are so politicized. And I hate feeling from the right.
Really? Okay. Now again, so are people in the transgender community? Right? Like the idea that like cis women have a unique like politicization of their bodies compared to other forms of minority groups is just a little silly. I mean, like, I don't know what else to say. It's just silly. It like, this is not like a zero sum, like my rights as a cis woman are more important than your rights as a trans person, right? Like, why? How about this? How about all people that are oppressed work together? How about, you know, like workers of the world unite kind of stuff? Is that possible? No, because these people don't actually care about left-wing values. They care about like maintaining some form of liberal capitalism that they think is just like preferable to the current form of dystopian capitalism. And that's really all they care about. But again, let's keep going here because she's really trying to toe the line. In the first clip, she was just like, no, I'm offended. Right? This one, she's trying harder to apologize, and therefore I think it's worse.
My entire life that our bodies are just meant for producing children. So the phrase person with a uterus for me is triggering. But I understand the importance of inclusive language. I just don't like to be boiled down to a body part.
I mean, honestly, man, this shit is comical. This is like Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, this is literally, I know I meme on her calling her A.K. Rowling, but J.K. Rowling, the actual, the cringe lord herself, she said, literally, and I'm not even joking, look it up. She did this interview recently. She said the same thing. So this is the same thing. I'm talking about verbatim. The same language, the same argument, the same wording, the same shit. J.K. Rowling said this a couple weeks ago. So that's why I'm calling her A.K. Rowling, because she's saying the same fucking thing. The same fucking thing, okay? Now, again, we can debate what the language, the ideal language would be. That's fine. And no one would harp on her if she were to genuinely, in good faith, try to start or spark a debate to have a better inclusive term, right? That's not... The issue is that she's speaking over and down to transgender people when transgender people are literally, again, at CPAC. This is not even a month ago. At CPAC, this is the conservative, the heart of the conservative movement. They were doing standing ovations for motherfuckers talking about how transgender people must be eradicated from public life. Standing ovation. That is within the last month. And now this bitch is going to hop on some J.K. Rowling talking points. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, just talk about time and place to have, we can talk about this conversation, whatever. If she would have said this same exact thing, just even a couple months from now, who knows what the political climate could be. But just the timing for this, I don't know if it could have gotten better, right? But the timing for this, man. Self-awareness whatsoever,
So Mike Figueiredo from the Humanist Report reminded me of a video we did a few years ago where we were defending someone who used the phrase people with the capacity for pregnancy in the context of the abortion debate, I believe it was. I'm totally fine with that. I think that's totally fine. If that's what they want to use in a medical setting, great. But for me, my personal preference is I don't like to be referred to, even in the context of an abortion debate, as a person with a uterus.
Okay, so this is why I'm telling you I 1000% guarantee you that this person is useless, and this is a non-apology, because she brings up that Mike from the Humanist Report brought up that she was on both sides of this issue and she flip-flopped, and she missed the point from Mike. Mike makes a point, she misses the point completely, right? And then she's like, I have no problem with being referred to as a person who has the capacity to become pregnant in an abortion context, but I don't want to be referred to that in an abortion context. So, do you prefer the term person with the capacity for pregnancy? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying you prefer that term? Or are you saying you only want to discuss this in an abortion context? I mean, both of them are dumb points, right? We should be making up inclusive terms for everybody in any context. That's my opinion. That's my goal. But again, she literally just contradicted herself within a couple seconds. And again, this idea of pointing out her good track record, all the power to Mike, he's trying his best, and I know he's in a position where they actually are friends. I don't know, Anna, so I don't care about bridge burning. I don't care. Let's blow the fucking bridge up like it's fucking some Halo shit, okay? Let's, I don't give a fuck. But anyway, the idea that she would have a good track record and still do this much of a colossal misstep, and that's assuming good faith, charitable, that she's doing this on accident. I think this is a purposeful attempt at rebranding herself for the sake of trying to get Republicans to watch her show. That's what I think this is. She's trying to rebrand herself. Well, I still don't like Republicans. I told Carrie Lake to fuck off. But the reasonable Republicans who also understand that the left is a little out of control, maybe they'll come into TYT. That's all she's doing. It's a branding exercise, right? Whether or not she knows it on a cognitive level, which she might not, because people in the news industry, their brains get rewired to care about clout and money and views more than principles and actual politics, right? So it's possible that she's just running on autopilot and her cognitive mind doesn't understand what she's doing. But I'm guaranteeing you here, the only reason she would do any of this is for branding. Again, no one was talking about this, right? The only reason she wants to do this is to get Republicans to watch her show. And she doesn't give a fuck about trans men. She just doesn't. She doesn't. She doesn't give a fuck about trans women. She doesn't give a fuck about trans men. She just doesn't. It's just that simple. Basically.
Person with the capacity for pregnancy, that's great. That's all I'm saying. I think my track record on transgender issues is pretty clear, and I hope you understand that I have no disdain or hatred for the transgender community whatsoever. That's all.
Yeah, her track record is great, and her support is conditional. So I say this, again, useless. It's useless. Now, if you want to say this, I'm purity testing, yes. Okay, I'm purity testing. And I think if, in the same way that Anna purity tests Democrats who she feels are not standing up properly for abortion rights, I'm purity testing allies, quote unquote, who are not actively and actually standing up for trans rights. So yes, maybe I am purity testing. But again, I think all minority groups, all oppressed peoples, all workers, all people that are not, right, the rich oligarchs of the world, I think we should all work together and we should all come up with the best thing that works for everybody. And again, if she could have approached the whole conversation differently, if she genuinely wanted to talk about what her preferred terms were, she would have started the conversation that way, but she didn't. She started the conversation like a triggered little liberal baby who doesn't actually give a fuck about anyone and just wants to brand herself so that she can get a second debate with Ben Shapiro, or maybe she can get on Tim Pool's podcast, or maybe she can get invited to Fox News to talk about why the left is going too far, right? This is this bitch is talking about Tulsi Gabbard. I called out Tulsi Gabbard before anyone did. Great job. You've become Tulsi Gabbard. So congratulations, right? But anyway, again, this is why I don't really care about left-wing YouTubers anymore. I don't really care about this space. I don't really care about this community because it's just all a bunch of, and I participated in it too sometimes. I'm participating in it right now, right? So come on, like I don't care about these people anymore. Like this isn't like, there's no movements anymore. Like whatever, TYT, Justice Democrats, they started something. Sure, maybe that was a long time ago, and that's also irrelevant from this conversation. There's no movement going on at TYT. It's just audience capture, and all they're doing is, well, their audience is, they're not getting enough, and they want to rebrand, I guess. They're changing course. And it's just sad. It's just sad, right? It's just sad. I don't know what else to tell you. And these people identify as like the home of progressives or some shit. I just say, if this is the home of progressives, I don't want to be a progressive. I don't want to associate with progressive, if that's where they're going home. And again, TYT is in a position of authority. They have a lot of people that maybe are on the fence on transgender rights and that kind of stuff. And they do take Cenk and Anna's positions on this seriously. And what they're doing is they're driving those people to the right now. Now again, and if this is their apology, if this is them trying to return to the point from last week or wherever, she's failed. This is a bad apology, whatever it is. It's just bad, right? And the other problem that I see in left-wing YouTube circles is, and again, all the power to them. If they're friends with Anna, you're trying your best. But it's the same problem that happens in mainstream news. Oh, I don't want to call out my friend. My friend that works on the same network said something cringy. I don't want to talk about my friend. This is the same problem with politics, political parties, right? Like Donald Trump is going out there breaking 28 laws. Republicans are like, he's a great man. Why? Because they're on the same team. So you see a lot of these left-wing YouTubers. And again, I'm not trying to shit on them. I understand they're in a minefield. But we got to fucking just erase this whole minefield concept. We got to bring back good faith, actual disagreement, and constructive feedback. Because again, if Anna Kasparian watches my video and she's like, damn, that bitch owned me, holy shit, and she goes out there and does an actual apology, I'm in. I'm all the way in. I embrace people taking the best possible route to the best possible thing for the best possible amount of people. I embrace that. So Anna Kasparian comes out and does a real apology. I'm all in. I'll be like, oh, man, that's so great. How heartfelt, right? But like, this ain't it, right? And again, too many people are too entrenched in too many like friend circles and friend zones that they're unable to actually make real. And I'm just going to say this. I saw this Majority Report video entitled like Anna Kasparian's not anti-trans. And it's like Emma just talking about her track record. Oh, her track record's so good. I mean, her tweet's bad, but her track record. I'm just saying that video, garbage. Now, I love the Majority Report. I got their cup. Look at this shit. I love the Majority Report. That video is garbage. Why is it garbage? For the same reason that people were afraid to talk about how shitty Jimmy Dore was a couple years ago. Remember when everyone was being made fun of because they were too afraid, TYT themselves were, they were afraid to come out against Jimmy Dore until Jimmy Dore did this big crusade against them specifically, right? It's the same fucking concept. People are afraid to talk about bad takes from their supposed friends, and it just enables their bad behavior. Come on now, man. Garbage. I mean, I'm just saying this. And again, I say this because I want them to be better. I don't want to dislike these people. You think I want to dislike people? You think I want to deal with disliking people? I don't want to dislike people. I want to love people. I want to play video games with people. I want to talk about movies with people. I want to fucking talk about space and fucking exploring the universe with people. I want to talk about doing drugs with people. I love humans. I love talking to humans. It's not my fault that most humans fucking suck. Like, most humans fucking suck. I don't want that to be the case, but that is the case, and I'm throwing Anna Kasparian in that category of sucky ass humans. And again, I'm totally down. If she wants to unsuck herself, that's great. But I hate this like culture of like, oh, I gotta defend my friend at all costs. Even though my friend is doing something really bad, I gotta be extremely unobjective and biased. Like, I'd rather people like Emma Vigeland just not talk about it, to be honest with you, right? Again, and shout outs to her. I love the Majority Report. Huge fan. I don't really watch it anymore. I don't really watch much anymore in that kind of space, but I do love Majority Report. Again, I got the cup, so you can't come on now. But again, that video, I'd rather them not talk about it. To be honest with you, I'd rather them not talk about it than do this wishy-washy, well, her track record. Well, again, the track record thing is not a defense. If anything, that's like a nuclear like barrage of an offense, because how can you have this track record and still say stupid ass shit like Anna did? That's the crazy stuff going on, okay? But anyway, there's my segment. People wanted me to talk about this, so I did, against my own better judgment. And now I'm gonna have to put up with the fallout. Now I'm gonna have to deal with the fallout from this one. But whatever.